What would you do if you heard a stranger say your name from your own bedroom? That's not a riddle. It happened to me. 2 days ago, I was supposed to be 1,500 miles away at a corporate summit in Chicago. I'd kissed my wife goodbye. She waved from the porch, told me she loved me, and I drove off thinking about the speech I had to give on Friday. But life, as it does, had other plans. My flight got canceled. No warning. Just one of those random winter storms that throws everything off. So I booked an early flight back home. No one knew. Not even her. It was going to be a sweet surprise. But when I opened the door, it was quiet. Unnaturally quiet. Shoes in the hallway that weren't mine. A faint echo of music upstairs. Then I heard laughter. Hers. And a man's voice I didn't recognize. That would have been enough to make anyone freeze. But then he said it, like a punch to the chest. "Don't worry, Lauren. He'll never find out." I didn't even call out. I just pulled out my phone and hit record. But what came next would change everything, and no one saw it coming. Have you ever walked into your own home and felt like you weren't supposed to be there? I stepped inside without a sound. No keys jingling. "No, honey, I'm home." I shut the door behind me like I was breaking into my own life. The hallway smelled like lavender and something sharper, wine. The lights were off downstairs, but I could see a glow leaking from the stairwell above. Music was playing. Soft. Something acoustic. Something intimate. Her shoes were there. Same spot she always leaves them. But next to them, a pair of men's sneakers I didn't recognize. That's when my heart started doing double time. Still, I didn't move. I just stood there, eyes locked on those shoes. I wasn't ready to know what they meant. You ever have that moment where your brain knows what's happening, but your body refuses to confirm it? I finally stepped forward. Kitchen first. 2 wine glasses on the counter. One with her shade of lipstick. The other smudged, wider rim, like a man's. I remember thinking, maybe it's innocent. A friend? A family member? Then I heard the voice again. Up the stairs. Laughing. Male. And then her voice. Soft. Close. Whispering. "Don't worry. He's in Chicago." She said it like a secret. She said it like a promise. But the promise wasn't for me. And that's when I realized they weren't talking about some guy. They were talking about me. What do you do when your body goes cold, but your blood is boiling? I didn't scream. I didn't storm up the stairs. I didn't even breathe too loud. I reached into my jacket pocket, pulled out my phone, and hit record. Not because I needed proof. Not yet. I needed to hear this again. Later. Alone. When I could play every second back without blinking. Step by step, I moved toward the stairs. Slow, careful, like every floorboard was wired. And then I froze. The man's voice again. "I'm telling you, Lauren. He's not who you think he is." My name wasn't mentioned yet, but I knew that tone. That smug, know-it-all rhythm of someone who's sure they've taken your place. Someone who's already too comfortable in a house that isn't theirs. Then Lauren. Laughing. Not her usual laugh. This one was smaller. Guilty. Stop. He'd never cheat. He's too boring. That one stung more than I want to admit. And that's when I heard it. My name. The guy said it clear as day. Like he owned it. "Ethan's lying to you too, you know?" I remember blinking hard. Replaying that line in my head. Over and over. What the hell did that mean? I came home early expecting to catch her lying. But now I was wondering, what secret of mine did he know? Then the voice dropped lower, just above a whisper. And what he said next. That's when everything spiraled. How does a stranger upstairs know something you've never told your wife? He said it like he'd been waiting to drop the line. Calm. Casual. Too confident. "You know where Ethan really was last summer?" Silence. Then Lauren's voice. Uncertain. "You're lying." The guy chuckled. "Vegas. The conference. Remember that girl at the hotel bar? Blonde. Blue dress. Real flirty." My heart stopped. He kept going like he was reading a file I thought I'd burned. "I saw him. He wasn't working late. I was there, remember? Same hotel. He kissed her. And just like that, the ground under me shifted. Because it was true. One night. One drink too many. Nothing happened past that kiss. I regretted it the second it ended. I never saw her again. Never said her name. Never even told a soul. Except one. Mark. That's who the voice belonged to. Mark. A guy I hadn't spoken to in nearly a year. A guy I met once on that trip who worked on a different project. I barely remembered his last name. What the hell was he doing in my house? And more importantly, why was he using my secret to earn her trust? Lauren didn't say anything for a long time after that. Just breathing, thinking. And then, I heard her whisper something I'll never forget. I guess none of us are innocent, huh? But that wasn't the worst part. It was what Mark said next that made my skin crawl. Have you ever been so calm? It scared you? I should have kicked the door in, ripped through the walls, dragged him out by the collar. But I didn't. Instead, I walked back down the stairs like a ghost. No rage, no noise. Just a kind of stillness that only shows up when you're past the point of fury. I sat in my car, pressed play. Their voices, laughing, whispering, unraveling 10 years of marriage like it was nothing. And then Mark said it, the line that nearly made me throw my phone across the windshield. Let him lie. It just makes it easier for us to do the same. That's when I realized this wasn't new. This had history. It wasn't just a fling. This was an affair with structure, with strategy, with cruelty. So I made a choice. No confrontation. Not yet. I opened a new note on my phone, saved the audio file, and labeled it. Upstairs. 3:42 p.m. Then I texted Lauren. Flight's back on. Just landed. Be home soon. Missed you. I waited. 10 minutes later, I saw the curtains twitch. Her shadow raced across the upstairs room. 30 seconds after that, Mark slipped out the back door. Hoodie up, head low, like a burglar. I hit record again. And then I got out of the car, walked up the steps, and opened the door. She was there, smiling. But her hands were shaking. What she didn't know, what she couldn't know, was that the real game had just started. What's more powerful? Catching a lie, or letting them wonder if you did? I stepped inside, suitcase still in hand. She met me at the doorway like nothing happened. Bright eyes, crooked smile, voice a little too high-pitched. Hey babe, you're early. I kissed her cheek. Smelled her shampoo. Vanilla. Familiar. Like nothing had changed except everything had. I didn't say a word. Not about Mark. Not about what I heard. Not even about Vegas. Instead, I walked into the kitchen, set my phone down, unlocked, screen up, right where she'd see it. I let the screen stay on the recording app. File still open. Upstairs. 3:42 p.m. And then I walked to the fridge, grabbed a water, and started talking about my flight like I hadn't just been sitting outside for half an hour watching her panic. She laughed at all the right spots, asked all the right questions. But I saw it, that flicker in her eyes when she noticed the phone. The way her breath caught mid-sentence. She knew. She didn't know how much I knew, or when I found out, or what I'd do with it. And that was the point. Because now every word she speaks, every smile she gives, every text she sends, she's wondering if I already know the truth. And I do. So tell me, would you burn it all down, or keep them guessing forever?